Hey guys, I'm Adam DeCirio of DeCirio Tours, and I lead trips all throughout Europe. And one of the top questions I get asked is, what carry-on should I bring? If I want to travel only carry-on, I need to figure out what's the best bag. Well, I've done all that work for you, and I've found my top 5 picks, the 5 favorite bags that I've been using over the last 10 years to travel all throughout Europe. And I'm going to share them with you now so that you can pick which one is right for you on your next trip. So I know there are a ton of different types of carry-on bags, and all the bags in front of me actually look really similar, and that's for a good reason. I prefer a 2-wheeled bag, a soft case, and a black suitcase, and here's why. Black as a color always appears smaller than any other color, and I want my carry-on to appear as small as possible, so I always opt for a black bag, even though some of these are available in other colors, so if you do want that, make sure to check it out. The second is that all of these only have 2 wheels. They get pulled, they are not 4-wheeled bags, and the reason for that is because a 4-wheel bag consumes extra space that I want to be using to fill with clothes and souvenirs. So I want the most space possible, I get a 2-wheel bag. And finally, they're all soft cases for a reason. I prefer a soft case. You can cinch it down, you can change the size, you can conform it into the bin above you, and most importantly, there at the little bin at the airport, to prove that it is in fact a carry-on, you'll want something that slides in easily. They tend to be lighter than hard cases, and like I said, they conform a lot better as you have a dynamic wardrobe and things that you put in your bag. So these are my favorite soft, black, 2-wheeled carry-ons. Let's get into it. I'm going to go through each and every bag explaining some of the similarities and differences, as well as the pros and cons of each bag. And every bag I'm talking about today is all linked in the description below, or the affiliate links located on the website or social media, wherever you're viewing. So I appreciate you using those links. Gives a little kickback here and there, but more importantly, it makes it easy for you to be able to directly purchase any one of these bags through Amazon, adding it to your cart at no additional cost. So let's get into it, and I can't wait to share these bags with you. They're all really cool. Now I'm going to explain the names of each, the sizes of each, what's the inside size, the weight, the height of the handle, and of course, the last item, the price. But right now, before I begin, take a look and leave a comment below which you think A is the nicest looking bag, and B is the bag that you would want to choose before you even know any details. I'm curious to know your thoughts. The first bag is a Hynes Eagle 2-in-1, and I'll get into it later in the video as to why it's called a 2-in-1, but for now just focus on this bag. And this bag is a really cool bag. It has, thanks to my paper, 20.5 inches tall by 15 inches wide by 10 inches deep when it's fully packed. Now on the inside dimension, it's 20 inches high, 14.5 inches wide, and about 6.5 to 7 inches deep. The total weight of this bag is 5.9 pounds. The handle comes up 40 inches, and the price for this bag is $147. The next bag we have is called the Dakine Status Roller. Now this bag is 22 inches high, 14.75 inches wide, and 10.5 inches deep when fully packed. The inside dimensions, therefore, are 20 inches high, 13 inches wide, and about 6 inches deep. This one's a little trickier to measure, and I'll explain later why, because it basically comes out in splits in half, so you have to measure it a little bit different. But anyways, that's the total dimension for this one on the inside. The weight of this bag is 7.1 pounds. The handle comes up 40.5 inches, and the price ranges, depending on what color you pick, between $150 and $210. The next bag we have is called the Traveler's Choice Softshell Upright Suitcase. This bag comes in at 21 inches high, 14.5 inches wide, and 10.5 inches deep when fully packed. And the inside dimensions come to 19.5 high by 13 wide by 8.5 deep. The weight of the bag empty is 5.75 pounds, and the handle comes up 41 inches with a total price for this bag of $120. The next bag that we have is called the Dakine 365 CarryOn roller bag. The height comes in at 21¼ inches high, 15 inches wide, and 9 inches deep when it is fully packed. And the inside dimensions is 20 inches high, 13½ inches wide, and 6½ inches deep with a total weight empty of 5.5 pounds. The handle comes up 44½ inches, and the price for this on sale, which it is I think still right now on Amazon, is $91, but otherwise the full price usually is $140 for this one. And finally, next we have the Herschel Softshell CarryOn bag, and this bag is 21 inches high, 15 inches wide, and 10 inches deep, fully packed. The inside dimensions is 19 inches high, 13½ inches wide, and 6½ inches deep, with an empty weight of 6.1 pounds. The handle comes up 39 inches. And the price for this one is $200. Just to show you what I mean, I'll open up all the handles of each of these bags so that you can see the difference of each on the table. So I'm going to talk about each bag individually now, starting with the Hynes Eagle. And I want you to know that in every single one of the bags, I'm going to be packing the exact same thing. Overpacking for 2 weeks worth of stuff. That's how much you can fit in a carry-on. All the rest of the personal items go in the other bag, the personal item that's going to go in front of the seat in front of you. But in my carry-on bag, I only put the clothes. So in here I have 14 shirts, 3 long sleeve shirts, several pair of pants, pair of shorts, socks and underwear and pajamas to get me through 2 whole weeks, a jacket, and I'm going to show you how each bag fits all this stuff. Maybe a little bit different in each bag, but I'll show you exactly how that's done. So the first bag I want to talk about is the Hynes Eagle 2-in-1. Well, why is it called a 2-in-1? I told you I'd tell you the reason, and that is because it is, in fact, 2 bags for the price of 1. When you buy this bag, the personal item, which actually zips on to the front of your carry-on item, comes with it. And that's pretty cool. If you can't figure out what your personal item should be or you want something that matches, well, for $150 you can get 2 bags instead of just 1. That's all I'm going to say about the personal item because this video is all about the carry-on item. So let's get into the details about this bag, some of the pros and cons and features that this bag has. Another major important feature of this bag is that you can remove these backpack straps, clip them in down below, and hide this away, and then it becomes a backpack that you can actually wear and use. It's the only bag of the entire lineup today that can be used as a backpack, and then you just tuck those straps in and they hide away in the back. The handle on top, nice, pretty solid. I would give that a 7 or 8 out of 10 for the handle. Nice and solid. You've got one handle on the top, one handle on the side, a little hook of a handle on the bottom, and another handle on the side. So basically 4 handles all the way around. And this bag has some compression straps and clips on both sides of the bag that allow you to compress the bag a little bit smaller and take out some of that extra size so that it doesn't appear as big as maybe some other bags. Also on this bag, the exterior features is just one simple, huge pocket in the front. No additional places to store anything, so a super simple pocket. Can't do much with it, which I personally like because I wouldn't store anything in there anyways, maybe a piece of paper or a boarding pass. That's about it. But anyways, good to know that that's the only exterior pocket that there is on this bag. Let's get into how this bag opens. Very simple opening mechanism. It goes all the way around and a nice big opening on the inside. You've got one big pocket there and this whole area with some straps to help hold your stuff in on the inside. Super simple, very easy to fit a lot of stuff in there. A little challenging because it only unzips to this point, so you got to shove some things down in the bottom. But as I'll show you with my packing cubes, something I highly recommend everybody travel with is super easy to pack. So with my packing cubes, I fit one cube in there and the other cube in right here. This cube, again, kind of tuck it in. And finally, the jacket goes up on top, making it easy to zip this closed. Use some of those compression straps in the front, or on the sides rather, and kind of compress it down. And you've got a nice, very compact little bag. Easy to travel with, and again, could use it as a backpack, although probably wouldn't want to. Once you fill it with so much stuff, it will be pretty heavy and difficult to use for very long distances as a backpack unless you're super strong. This bag comes with plastic wheels, so it will make a bit of a sound as you go over cobblestone and other things. And as you see on the back, the plastic here ends and then it's fabric the rest of the way. So coming up curbs, just be a little aware there. Sits very nice, very sturdy. Overall, a great bag. Let's move on to the next one. With the Dakine status roller, this is probably the most unique and in some ways odd bag from the whole lineup, but it's got a lot of cool features. The first is that the back half is actually a hard case, while the front half is a soft case. And on top of that, it has the ability to expand another 2.5 inches in height. So although this will no longer exceed a carry-on, if you do expand it, you can then use it as a check bag and know that you've just increased the quantity of space in your bag by about 30%. So if you need that extra space and be able to check it on the way home, because you carried so many souvenirs with you as you traveled through Europe, which I've been accused of a few too many times, well then this might be the bag for you. It gives you those versatility and options of what you can do with it. Like I said, just know that it's not a carry-on once you expand. Of all the bags, this bag has one of the strongest handles. Super good. I give it a 9 out of 10 in the strength of the handle, maybe even a 10 out of 10. It's got a rubberized handle, very comfortable and easy to use. Also has rubber wheels. So that means it's going to be very quiet as you roll it across the cobblestone. It's almost silent. We'll call it the Tesla of bags. But on the outside, you have just 1, 2, 3 handles. You don't have anything on the bottom or the side as far as another handle goes. And then on top of that, it is, like I said, a half hard case, half soft case, so it does have a little bit of an odd way that it opens. You unzip it, and instead of it just being something that opens on the top, this one is the only bag that is like a clamshell. So you're gonna fit half of your stuff over here and half over here. Like I said, a little trickier to measure this one because it's basically 3 inches of depth and 3 inches of depth for a total of 6 inches, but it's a little bit more difficult if you have packing cubes or pack the way that I normally do. This one works better if you don't have packing cubes and you want to put stuff in, or if you don't have items that fit in a packing cube. Maybe you can use a couple of cubes over here and other loose items over here. It's all stored easily in this zipped up compartment. Keeps it really organized and easy to keep track of everything. But again, just a little bit different way of packing than I usually do. But I'll still show you anyways how I would pack it. The packing cube is a little tight It's quite tight, and you see it sticks out a little bit. Those wheels really encroach in quite a bit, but nevertheless, you should be able to fit everything in. This one as well, a little tight. So although this bag is bigger in physical size than a lot of the other bags by a little bit, it's got less space on the inside. We'll open up this over here. You can easily fit in the jacket, nice and thin, and the other packing cube, and seal them up inside here. Keeps it really nice and organized. And then, similar to a hard case, you kind of squeeze it down together and zip it all up. So, like I said, overall a little bit different in the way that you have to pack it, but finally you have that option to expand, open it up, that extra 2.5 inches of space. Now it's got quite a bit of space for a lot of extra souvenirs and things. This bag has, let me close the bag up for you. This bag has an exterior pocket here with a little bit of a laptop sleeve. Again, I would never put my laptop in there, so for me, wouldn't be important, but for you it might be. Comes with a nice little pocket up here as well. Maybe some chargers and cables can fit in there. And it has this pocket, big pocket, so you can fit some big pieces of paper, boarding documents, etc. in there. So 2 exterior pockets, and a little bit of an odd feature with these Dakine bags is it has a little flap right here that is for your travel card with your name, address, etc. So you don't have to find one, but at the same time, I don't know if I would ever use this because it would just flap around and get caught on things. And if you were to put it away, nobody would ever find it, because it took me actually a long time before I even discovered that this was a feature of this bag. So some cool things, some odd things, but overall, still a fantastic bag and a really unique way to be able to travel, either carry-on or be able to use it as a check bag if necessary. Next up, the Traveler's Choice bag. Now this bag is really cool because it actually feels like waterproof material. Doesn't necessarily look the best on camera. I don't know why, but it actually looks really nice in person. It does feel like a thinner material than most of the other bags, which is great because it conforms super easily, but it does make you feel like it might puncture slightly easier if something sharp like a gladiator sword or something were to make contact with it. But hopefully you don't encounter that nearly as often as I have to on my trips throughout Rome. Anyways, we'll get into this bag right now. It has these massive clips on it, which honestly don't do very much. I think that that is a little bit strange that they put them on there, because it looks like a compression strap, but the reality is it's sewn all the way to there, so you can't compress it beyond that point. Why they're on there, I don't know, but it does add at least to the strength of the bag when it is full. This bag does have a pretty flimsy handle, although it is very strong. It still doesn't have the rigidity and confidence that the other bags provide. So I would give it probably a 5 or 6 out of 10 on the handle strength. The wheels are plastic, so they are going to be a little bit louder over cobblestone and things like that. But as you see on the back, there's plastic here and plastic rails that go all the way up. So going up and over curbs or into the bin above your head in the airplane, going to be very easy with this bag. It has one handle on the top, handle on the bottom, another handle on the side, and the coolest handle of all the bags, this massive handle on the bottom, which functions as well as the stopper to hold it up right in position. This is the easiest bag to carry and move around on a flat surface, and I really do love it for that. And I like the simple, small pockets on the outside. Again, for me, I don't need big pockets. I don't need pockets at all, but there's a little pocket up here in the front. Just fits maybe your phone or wallet as you go through security. And another kind of hidden little pocket over here. Nice small pocket again. You can easily fit about a phone or a wallet in there. Let's see, what else do you need to know about the outside? Nothing. Simple bag, easy. In order to get into this bag, you just undo these massive clips and open up the pocket. And you have just a huge amount of space. Of all the bags, this bag I feel like has the most quantity of space on the inside. It's the easiest to put in, and this is where you actually have your compression straps to be able to hold your stuff on in place on the inside. And then you have one big waterproof pocket, as is advertised by this little sticker here. A waterproof pocket that is the full size inside. So really love those features. Those are really important to me. And I'll show you just how easy these packing cubes with all that stuff fits in to this bag. We've got my jacket there. Close up these compression straps on the inside. Cinch those down a little bit. This one as well. And already I can tell this bag still has some room left over for a few other things that so far the other bags haven't. Zip this up, close up the clips, and there you go. An amazing bag and a really good pick. Like I said, just be a little careful with the handle because it's a little bit flimsy compared to the other bags, but still strong enough that should get you through all the travels that you need as long as you pull it gently. Other than that, a fantastic bag. Off to the next. Now this Dakine 365 bag is really a fantastic bag. Very, very simple. Probably the simplest of all the bags, but for me that's great. I love simplicity. No need to overcomplicate a carry-on bag when its main purpose and only purpose is to be a big thing that you throw stuff in and pull around behind you your whole trip. So with that being said, here is the Dakine 365 bag. You have the handle on the top, a handle on the bottom, a handle on the side I mean, but no handle on the bottom. Instead they've tucked the handle in kind of here. A little awkward to carry it around between this handle here and this handle here, but at least you don't have to do this function that often. There is no handle on this side, but instead a kind of strange thing that Dakine does on their bags. They have this little flap, which is for your name and address, your travel bag or travel tag, but it's so hidden no one will ever find it. And if you leave it out, it's almost guaranteed to get ripped. So I don't think that that's functional, but it's cool to know that that's what's there because it took me a long time to find that on my bag. The handle itself has a rubber bottom, which is super nice and very comfortable on the hand to use. And it's got a very sturdy handle, gives you a lot of confidence and strength. I would give this a 9 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10 on the handle. And it also is a quite tall handle, as you see. All Dakine bags come with rubber wheels instead of plastic wheels, so that's really nice over cobblestone. It's almost silent, which makes it really good. But as you see, from here up, there's no protection on the bag, so be careful going up and over curbs, as this might scratch the fabric a little easier than some of the other bags. This bag is super simple. It only has one pocket, and this pocket is a pretty big pocket, which is great, but that's simple. Nothing else on the outside, which is great. Again, I love simplicity. Opens like most of the other bags, just a simple open here. You do have one pocket, which is the entire size of the surface of the opening of the bag. And then on the inside, again, just a nice empty open void waiting for your clothes and souvenirs to collect throughout the trip. Has this little thing, which I never find these very useful, but it's there nonetheless. And I'll show you how this bag fits all my stuff. That packing cube fits in nice and easily there as well. Comes up pretty high, but you still have plenty of room for a jacket and the other. And then you just have to be a little careful holding it. Make sure you don't get your finger caught in the zipper. I've done that a few times as well. And there you go, the Dakine 365 bag, a really wonderful choice. It's just a little bit tighter than some of the other bags on the inside, but as long as you can pack really efficiently, this is a wonderful bag to go with. And finally, we have the Herschel bag. Now this bag, ooh, already you can feel it's a really premium quality material. I don't know what it is, some kind of soft touch nylon material or something. I don't know, it just feels really nice. It is a very premium feeling bag, but as I'll talk about, it does come with some compromises. On the outside, it's extremely simple. You just have one handle here, one handle here. You do have a really nice handle on the bottom, but as you can see, it's a little difficult for me to fit my hand in here, so you'd have to have a pretty small hand to actually fit in there. So it functions more like a ledge than really a handle. You might get your finger caught in there. You don't want that through TSA. That'll be a problem. The wheels are like halfway between plastic and rubber. I'm gonna call it a plubber or plastic, yeah, plubber, I'm gonna call it. That is a unique material. I have never felt that. So it's not going to be quite as quiet as rubber, but it's definitely going to be quieter than plastic with a nice metal wheel in this part, so really good quality wheel. The handle, however, is short. Oh my gosh, so if you're a tall person, this is going to be an issue for you. You're going to want to go with a bag that has the longest or highest handle. If you're a taller person, this one of all 5 bags has the shortest handle, so you're most likely to trip as you're walking around if you are a taller person. Even for me at 5'9", this was still enough that I was tripping sometimes. So be careful with this bag if you are shorter and you're in a hurry. Don't want to be running around with this bag and tripping yourself. On the front, you have just a tiny little opening up here for a pocket. The pocket goes to about there, so about 8 inches deep or so. And then you have a little pocket on the inside for storing and separating things, but overall I would say you basically can just fit some boarding passes and your phone, wallet, and that's about it on this pocket. On the inside, very simple design as well. Again, a nice big pocket up here that unzips like so. You can put a jacket or something easily in there. And down here, again, you have one of these. And this one's a little more useful because it is adjustable than some of the other bags that didn't have adjustability. But overall, again, just a simple open box, which I like. So we'll see how it is putting my carry-on items in this one. We've got my first cube, which already looks, you can see it coming up above here, tight. So it's definitely, it fits it, no problem. I still fit it in, but as you see, this is probably the tightest of the 5 bags. So although it is almost the same size on the outside as most of the bags, the inside is tighter than most of the bags. And now with this stuff on top, I'm gonna have to squeeze and push it down just a little bit to make sure that it does in fact close. Now it closes no problem, and it looks great, and it is a really nice bag. Like I said, the only downside or con is really the length or height rather of the handle. And of course the price. A bag like this does come at a premium of some of the other bags. So let's go back to comparing all 5 of the bags and see which one might be right for you. So which bag is right for you? Well, that's a personal decision that only you can make, because each of these bags, as you've seen, have a lot of different features that make them each unique and specific to your travel needs. But if I were to summarize it, I would basically say that this Hynes Eagle 2-in-1 bag is great if it's your first time traveling, you're not really sure exactly what you need. You have the opportunity to use this both as a backpack. It's the only bag of these 5 that you can do that with. And like I mentioned, it comes with that extra bag as well that you can use as a personal item. They match, so you don't have to worry about getting a second bag. It's an all-in-one solution that even comes with some packing cubes. So a great introduction to travel in carry-on style if that's something that's new for you. This bag is ideal if you just want a lot of diversity. The Dakine bag comes with that expandability that I talked about. It has such a strong handle. It has both the half hard case, half soft case combination, amazing rubber wheels. So this is, if you have a lot of diversity, you need the ability to both use it as a carry-on or check the bag, and you know that your bag is going to change in dimension and size throughout your travel, then this one might be right for you. Just be aware, of course, when it is expanded, again, you can't carry it on. This exceeds carry-on sizes once you use the expandability. If you want the overall pick that I think has a little bit of everything and is kind of right there, well, this bag is really that. It comes with the most quantity of inside space. It's one of the simplest bags to use, and therefore for me, simplicity is key. I love just a simple bag that has very few zippers, very little functionality, and it just functions to store as much stuff as possible. This bag would be a great one. Like I said, just be careful a little bit with the handle. This Dakine bag, probably another top pick, a little bit smaller in space, but at least you know and have a guarantee every single time this is going to fit as a carry-on on almost every airline you go on. Comes with that super strong handle, and it's a really great price. So I would say this is probably your ideal budget pick, but also, even if it was double the price, to me it would be worth it. And finally, the Herschel bag. Well, if a brand is really important to you, you want one of the finest quality exterior bags, and you're fine with compromising a little bit on space, then this might be the bag for you. It is, like I said, a little smaller on the inside, but it is a really, really top quality bag that's going to last many years. So although it is technically the smallest bag of all of these on the inside, it comes with that premium quality and longevity that you know from the Herschel brand. So hopefully between these 5 bags, you're able to pick the one that's right for you and enjoy carry-on travel on your next experience, whether it's on one of my tours, a Desirio tour throughout Europe where we go to Italy or Greece or Spain or Portugal or any place beyond that in Europe. This bag is going to be absolutely perfect for you, or whatever travel you go on. I've got a lot more information about packing tips and packing videos to check out, as well as more information about even more bags, all on my website, DesirioTours.com. And of course, most importantly, if you want to go on an amazing trip throughout Europe, hit me up, send me an email, check out the website. I'd be happy to lead you through an amazing experience in Europe. I can't wait to see you over there, or at least hear about your travels in the future. Thanks, and take care.